I, 17F, told dad about mom's affair to save him from a terrible marriage. Now he wants a paternity test and I don't know what to do. When I was about 9 years old I realized my mom was having an affair for years on my military dad. I did not say anything as I was really worried what would happen if I said anything. When I was about 12 years old I found my dad looking at pictures of our family and tearing up and I couldn't take it and I told him about mom's affair. Fast forward 5 years and I live full time with dad and his new wife and stepsister and our lives have improved so much since leaving mom. Well, grandpa on dad's side has been pressuring my dad to get a paternity test as he wants to make sure that I am his granddaughter. This is getting really intense as grandpa may pass away soon and he says he doesn't know if he should leave us anything if he doesn't even know. Well, my dad has resisted this for years and saying it doesn't matter, but now things have changed as I have half-sibling on the way. I am totally happy and fine with this, but for some reason my dad has started to change his mind about the paternity DNA test thing. He says he is worried that I won't receive help with my college or anything, but I'm worried he is wondering if he should care about me or just my new sibling. I am not sure how much money my grandpa has, but he does have a big house and a lot of property, so I guess it's important. I would rather just continue with our relationship how it is, but I don't know what to do now and I haven't been able to sleep over this. What do you think I should do? TLDR, Dad says we should get paternity test for me, but I'm worried he won't love me if it goes wrong. Oh babe, this must be really hard for you and I'm sorry you're going through this. There is nothing you can do, this is your father's decision. It sounds to me as though your father didn't care about the test and loves you unconditionally. It sounds like your grandfather on the other hand may have some other dated notions. Sit down with your father and tell him exactly what is on your mind. Read him your TL/DR, express your love for him. Stepmom, step and half siblings, just tell him you're scared and ask what he thinks. Good luck op, it's going to be okay yellow heart. Before you do anything I think you need to sit down and talk with your dad, tell him exactly what you are feeling and exactly what you fear, be open and communicate with him. First of all, this is a shitty situation, I'm sorry you're in this. Your dad could just lie to your grandpa and say the test was taken and you're his, might not be worth it to cause a big fight since the grandparents are on the way out. As for student loans, there is no way you'd be required to take a paternity test before your dad applies for FAFSA, or whatever it's called. Have you sat down with your dad and really laid out your fears? Tell him that regardless of what would come back on a test, you consider him to be the only father you want. Tell him that you'd rather not know for sure as there are some things that cannot be unlearned. Tell him that you'll never forgive your mom for ruining your family life, and that you're both victims of her actions. Your father had years to do a paternity test on you. He decided not to because whether it's positive or not, you're his daughter no matter what. However, you should probably get it in case you have a parent that's carrying something genetic and might affect you/pass down to your future children. It sounds to me like others have said your father really cares about you. My ex cheated on me and I have our 2 children full time now. I've considered DNA tests before, but same as your dad decided it doesn't matter. I want to get them done someday, but more because I just feel like everybody deserves to know. I can tell you from a father's perspective it would not change anything. It sounds like it is mostly due to your grandfather and your dad wants you to get something in will. You should 100% talk to your dad about this. Just tell him how this is making you feel and ask him how he feels about it. I think it would make you feel better. I'll say it, Grandpa is taking a real butthole approach in an already heart-wrenching situation. So sorry the situation is causing you such heartache. I'm worried he won't love me if it goes wrong. You need to talk to your dad about this because based on your post I think your fears will come true, at least in regards to your grandfather. He wants to make sure that I am his granddaughter. This is a really shitty thing to say to you. Talk to your dad about how this has hurt you and that you're worried you won't be his granddaughter if it comes back. Grandpa can be spoken to later if your talk with dad goes well. Side question: is stepsister considered a granddaughter? If she is, you can point out she isn't bio and still a granddaughter, so why would your DNA matter? Especially since he always considered you a granddaughter before. But I'm worried he is wondering if he should care about me or just my new sibling. While your father hasn't been as direct as your grandfather bring up, you are concerned about him too. Point out that it has been 5 years since the affair was found out and the brand new. Definitely his child, combined with your grandfather's statements, make you think he now wants you to not be his and to get out of his new, definitely his family. Why is he so concerned with this now vs 5 years ago? What has changed about how he feels about you? Ask him what he wants the results to be and what happens if it comes back the other way. I really hope your father is genuinely concerned about college. But unless you are no longer legally his child, something feels off. If he is legally your parent, FAFSA should consider his income. If you're US, so does he plan on helping you with college? You need to have a serious talk with him about your very legitimate fears. I am not sure if they can force you to take the test, but they can still kick you out at 18 regardless of whether you do or not. I really hope this just turns out to be fears and they love you anyway. But you might want to start preparing for the worst case scenario. It sucks, but as a father I wouldn't get it done because it wouldn't matter. You've been his daughter all your life, he'll still be your dad. If I was in your dad's position and my butt backwards old man wanted proof that my child was his biological grandchild lest he withhold her future educational fund, I'd definitely be writing and delivering a fake paternity test. I just assume that anyone who thinks DNA determines family membership would be too dense to see through the ruse. I would also be honest with your dad about your feelings. Tell him it's your wish that a paternity test is not done because you are already feeling a bit insecure that he will see you as equally important to his new baby. And throwing a DNA test into that mix would not be good for you right now. You're more worried what he will think than your grandpa, given that he's never wanted to do one before and he's always had you living with him. It seems likely that he sees you as his daughter either way, and he will be able to reassure you more than we can on Reddit. New babies and youngest kids get a lot of attention, especially in new relationships, but remember you were his first child and that's a very special place in his life to have too. You will probably still be all his first kid to go off on their own. First kid he had a legal beer with, first kid he walked down the aisle, first kid to give him a grandchild, etc. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.